Hi, I'm Lisa Gould. I'm a financial consultant, and today we're going to talk about the difference between an FSA and an HSA. Both of them are designed to help you pay for your medical expenses pre-tax. We'll start with the FSA because that one's a little bit more simple. It's called a flexible spending account. You get it through your employer, only through an employer. From each paycheck, you can put in a certain amount. You get to decide how much you put in. It changes every year, but for example, in 2025, the maximum is $3,050. So you tell your employer how much you want to put in based on what you think your medical expenses might be. Now, the thing that you have to remember with an FSA, and this is really important, is that it is a use it or lose it situation. They all allow you to use it anytime throughout the year, even if you have paid a little bit in the beginning, you get to use it throughout the year. And then it evens out at the end. Sometimes employers will let you go a couple of months into the next year, up to a certain amount. But basically, if you haven't used that money by the end of the year, or say January or February, if they allow it, you lose it. So if you've put in $2,000 and you only had $1,000 worth of medical expenses, unfortunately, that money's gone. So you want to try to predict as best you can. And once you decide at the beginning of the year, it cannot be changed mid-year. Now, the HSA is really pretty different. It's called a health savings account, and it is only for people who have a high deductible insurance. What defines a high deductible varies from year to year. For example, in 2025, if you have a deductible of $1,650 or more, $1,650 or more, then you can open up an HSA. You can only put in what your deductible is. So if your deductible is $2,000, you can only put in $2,000. Now, the beauty of this is that if you don't use it, you get to keep it. It is your money. When you're putting in the money, it's post-tax, but at the end of the year, you get a tax deduction for the amount. So it is technically pre-tax money that you're spending. You can build this up over time. Let's say you decide you've got a $2,000 deductible, so you're going to put in $2,000 and you only spent $500. Well, now you've got $1,500 that you can carry into the next year. If you change jobs, you can carry that with you. This is your account. It's not attached to any employer. Sometimes you can set one up through your employer, but if you leave that employment, you get to take that money with you. You can save it up year after year. Now, another great thing about this is that once you have like $1,000 or $2,000 in there, you can invest that money. You do not have to keep it in a savings type account. You can invest it for the future, and any growth is tax-free. You don't pay taxes on the principal, and you don't pay taxes on any growth for it. So if you're lucky enough to be healthy throughout the years, you could end up with a nice chunk of change. If you use it, that's great too, because you have a high deductible. So why not use money that is pre-tax to pay that medical expense? So why would you choose to put money into either of these accounts versus just your savings accounts? Well, first of all, it's the tax benefit. But what if you put in the money and you didn't spend it? Well, one thing I want you to remember is that you can spend this on a lot of things. Do you wear glasses or contacts? You can spend it on that. Do you go to the dentist? You can spend it on that. If you need a root canal, you can spend it on that. You can spend it on over-the-counter medications, any medicines that you take when you're shopping somewhere. You might see a note under a specific item that says FSA eligible or HSA eligible. And that means that you can use that money to purchase that product. It can be a bottle of cough syrup, right? It doesn't matter, but you really just have to think about what you tend to spend in the past. Is it always going to be perfect? No. But you do the best you can. You make an educated guess and put it in. I just heard about somebody who used it to buy their Oura ring, and that was approved. So there are a lot of different ways that you can use this money. If you're using an FSA, I want you to really try to use all of it because it will not roll over, and I don't want you to lose that money. With an HSA, just use what you need so you have more later should you need it.